So, as part of business analysis learning is concerned, today we are going to discuss about what are the key business documents that we prepare. As an example, I am taking for any banking payment related example I have taken. These documents were common for any of the domain. This is nothing to do with any specific domain, irrespective of the technology of the domain. Documents are these documents are general. It can be something additional apart, can be, but these are the generalized documents. So one is the business requirements document. Business requirements document use is to capture the business needs, scope, all this. At the same time, if you want to address any critical success factors, next, if you want to perform any gap analysis to identify as is and to be process, explaining about the business problem, what should be the impact, right? What goal that we want to achieve, scope, objective, need, what business solution you are coming up with, who are our end users. So to detail all these, business requirements document is important. So business requirement document is the fundamental and foremost document which details you about the business related stuff. It's not relating to the technical part of it. Technical, we prepare software requirements document that is as separate, but that is with the help of technical team. That's the reason why I was not mentioned here. I am not mentioned here. This is one document which is called BRD. Second, functional requirements document. Functional as well as non-functional, I can say. This combines both functional and non-functional. Functional requirements, when we are translating the business requirements into the functional point of view, means let's say we are going to develop a core banking application or the payment gateway that we are developing. So what are the functionalities that we have? Let's say that we want to manage customer records. Okay, so you need to have an account for that, right? So you want to know the customer details you want to update, right? So that can be one more functionality. Or for example, customer is paying some payment through online, right? So what kind of payment mode are they choosing for? Are going for UPI based payments or card payment or cash or network internet banking, right? So what there are a lot of functionalities are involved. So to detail those functionalities, functional requirements document is important. Non-functional means performance, performance of the application, scalability, load balancing, fault tolerance, characteristic of a particular application, how the application should behave, how the application should act. Okay, who are the our customers? For example, you are working on e-commerce application. E-commerce application, more number of customers are accessing the application, maybe from sometimes in the weekends for purchasing something online. So whatever the features and functionalities that presented on the application is not enough. That application should perform well even in the weekdays, weekends also, because even though more traffic is there, so the server should not go down. Okay, at the same time, whatever the business that they were doing online shopping, they are doing, that should be so fast, accurate. So they do payments, right? So whenever they do the payment, immediately they have got a online payment. Immediately they have got a reply stated that your payment successfully completed. So we are going to deliver your goods in maybe in 3 or 4 business working days, like that. So that's what we call it as non-functional. Non-functional details you about the performance, scalability, load balancing, and fault tolerancing. Means character and behavior of the application will be detailed under the non-functional requirement. So it's not only about BRD, even functional and non-functional requirements are more important. Next, when we are working on the migration projects, this one which I mentioned you about the data mapping sheet, when we are working on some migration projects or when we are going for any migration projects from old legacy systems to the new system or something. So there are some data mapping sheets that we create so that we can map the fields between the systems, something like payment gateway to core banking, right? So that can be done. So data mapping sheet is one more. Again, I'm referring subject to the type of project that we are working on. This data mapping will vary. That is third. Next, workflow diagrams document will be, because workflows we can prepare using different tools, star UML and all, to prepare UML diagrams, workflows, flow charts, business process diagrams, everything can be created. So that can be translated into a document format. So that is to visualize it. For example, if there is any payment gateway, we have connected with core banking application. So you want to visualize the payment, or if you want to identify the dispute flows, etc. So workflow can be for every business functionality, workflow is important. That is needed even. Next, what are the API specifications? What are the different APIs? Let's say we are working on some integration projects where we are integrating from one system to another system. Either it can be internal or external systems and all, we are integrating. So when we are integrating from external system to internal system and all that, how the API specification will be taken place, how you are going to define the request responses or error codes and all. This is all about the API specification. So what kind of API are we using? It can be RESTful API, it can be anything else apart. So that is called API specification. Is next, test scenarios. Test scenarios means whatever the testing that we do, right? In reference to the manual testing I'm referring to. So how are we going to validate the end-to-end payment process? So for that, generally test scenarios we create. So that use cases will be connected to the test scenarios. For that, generally RTM we prepare. To create such test scenarios, we have templates available in the organization that can be used, or else we have a tool called Jiffer in Jira, JDPHYR, where we can create test cases, test scenarios, everything over there. So these are the basic documents, because it can be more apart, because when we follow the hybrid model, if you follow the agile model and all, of course, we don't need all that. So these are the basic documents which are required.